What's going on, everyone? My name is Jericho, and welcome to Speed Dating, where you're going to ask me questions, and then we're going to figure out if we can date or not. It's also called a Q&A, so I figured speed dating sounds better. I don't know. First time I've done a Q&A by myself in 3 years. A lot has changed since then. I've done a couple with Sonya. We average about one a year. So, you don't get these very often, so enjoy it. I asked you guys on Twitter for questions, so thank you to everybody who gave me some questions to answer. Let's start off with one that's actually a pretty good topic. Who is my favorite NA CSGO team? Considering the majors are on right now, I was supposed to be at MLG Columbus. Last minute travel plans didn't work out for me. If I have to choose a North American Counter-Strike team to root for, it's going to be Cloud9. I know nothing. He's been a longtime friend of mine since around 2011. And, he's just a really nice guy. Cloud9 in general, an organization, can't hate him, gotta love him. So overall, I gotta go with Cloud9. I do want to say that at the same time I met Nothing, I also met Hastro. And Hastro at the time and currently is the owner of Team Envious. But they only had a Call of Duty team. So I was actually a part of their Call of Duty ARM division during that stint. So, I mean, I'm really usually split between Cloud9 and Envious for my support. Gotta support the buds. JSC Potato says, who's my favorite friend to play games with? So this one's good. This is a good question. If I'm going to strictly talk about favorite friend to stream games with, it's probably Tim the Tatman. Tim is overall one of the funniest dudes I play with. He, me and him, we have the same type of humor. He's easy to play off of and, make jokes with. So I almost every time I play with Tim, we get a good video. But if I have to say overall, I miss playing with my friend Pat. Like every night when we came back from high school, we'd hit the Xbox, we'd turn on Call of Duty 4, and we'd hop in a game and we'd just play. Or even as recent as League, I used to play League all the time with him. So I miss playing with Pat as well. Just, one of those high school friends, one of those old friends that you've got that really just, nobody else can compare to. So those are probably my two favorite friends from different sides to play with. Jeevan asks, why do you love Maserati so much? I love cars, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I know even how to change my own oil because I am not ever in a position where I've had to change my own oil. I know how to change a spare tire, so I guess I got that going for me, and I can jump a car. What up? What I mean when I say I'm a car guy is I love cars, but I don't know how to actually work on them. Just like I love video games, but I don't know how to make them. And Maseratis have always struck like a really nice chord with me. Not only is the Gran Turismo and Quadriporte, and I guess to an extent the Ghibli, they all have a beautiful exhaust note, like, so good. But not only that, the Gran Turismo is a touring car that has the elegance and the style of that Italian, the Italian flair, but it's not showboaty. It's not like a Lamborghini where it's just all angles and a lot of vibrant colors fit well with it. A nice black Maserati with a white interior. Oh God, man. Someday I will own a Maserati. Someday. It just might take a while. Currently looking at the Maserati Alfieri. It's a 2+2 coupe. It looks fucking awesome. So I like Maseratis because they're elegant. They're stylish, they're elegant, they're very, very beautiful, but they're not ostentatious and showy. Kind of like an Aston Martin. They do the same thing very well. Gaming Therapist asks, if you could play one game with Sonya for 8 hours straight, what would it be? Damn. Okay, Sonya and I get on each other's nerves all the time when we play games. I mean, that's just what couples do. You gotta have a little bit of bickering, a little bit of banter to have it fun. I'd say Counter-Strike is probably one of the few games we could play for 8 hours straight and not kill each other. I mean, realistically, we'd have to do a bunch of different shit in Counter-Strike, but that's probably the only one. Maybe Minecraft, but like, I actually remember Sonya kept a list of the reasons that I was going to break up with her on League of Legends because she would do shit that would piss me off so much that I'd be like, all right, no, I'm done. Like, we're done, we're over. She'd like last hit my tank minion or whatever, and it's just like, I would get so mad at her because it was just so frustrating. So she'd troll me. It could definitely not be League, I'll tell you that much. It would never be League. Doovy asks, do you watch other streamers when you aren't streaming? Got a confession to make, pretty much only watch streams nowadays. I do watch a couple YouTube videos. I'm subscribed to a load of car guys, Shmee, Saab Kyle. I love cars, the smoking tire, but if we're talking about straight content, I watch H3H3 from time to time. That's about it. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos, but streams, I always have a stream up in my window. Right now, I've got the CSGO major on mute right next to me. It's just something to have in the background, and if it's not a major, it's, you know, it's Lyric or Summit or Tim or Sonya or Brent. Like, there's so many friends that have great broadcasts. But what I will say is whenever I'm bored late at night, and I encourage you to do this, do you guys watch public access TV? You go on like the low channels on cable, and there's just the weirdest shit on there at like 2 in the morning. Do that on Twitch. Go to browse, search channels, and then click random. And go, every channel has like 0 or 2 viewers. You're gonna find some weird shit. I love finding like businessmen who are for some reason streaming their like office setup but never talking. It's like they don't even know they're on stream. It's crazy. The Safe Return says, do you think you'll ever get back into Call of Duty as much as you were in the 2012-2013 days? What you really should say is the 2009 days, okay? That was the prime of Call of Duty for me. I've been playing Call of Duty since Finest Hour, since Big Red One. You know, I played every single game in the series, and the whole idea of that kind of style first-person shooter that Call of Duty has is great, but I played so much of it that it's kind of worn thin on me. I love the game, especially Black Ops 3 is the best Call of Duty we've had in a long time, I believe. I don't know what it is. It's just something needs to change about the entire game's flow to make me as interested as I was back in the day. I mean, realistically, Counter-Strike is the same way that I was, or I'm the same way in Counter-Strike as I was Call of Duty 2009, 2008. You know, COD 4 really hit a special place for me, but I don't know if I'll ever get back to that point. What up, Caitlin? She asks, what anime do you watch? Call me a weeb. I don't care. I love anime. I like animated shows. Currently, I'm watching Fairy Tail. It's like a 6 out of 10, but it's got a lot of episodes, and that's key for me. You know, I travel a lot. It's got like 800 episodes, like One Piece, right? So I like animes that I have a lot of substance to watch. A lot of time to kill on airplanes. You gotta have a lot of episodes. That said, favorite animes, Hunter x Hunter, bar none, the best one. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, right there with it, God tier. I mean, there's a ton of animes that are just fucking awesome that I need to get around to watching. Death Note was great. Soul Eater was good. Just, I love it. I love animes. Fuck you, all right? Fuck you if you don't watch them and you don't like them. That's my favorite personal preference. So yeah, right now I like Fairy Tail. It's okay. You know, it's pretty good. Mrs. Juke asks, what place did you always wanted to travel to and why? Well, I always wanted to travel to Paris, but I did get to do that because I took French for my entire schooling life. You know, every year took French. And it was amazing. It was every bit as fun as I had hoped it was. The sights were awesome. It was really surreal to be going down the Champs-Elysees and just, you know, you hear the song in your head that everybody's singing. It's just great. It was a real good fucking good experience. And I will absolutely go back. I want to take Sonya back so badly. You know, and to the same vein, London is also one of my favorite cities to visit. Just, I love everything about England, specifically London. Paris is great. One place that I would love to visit, and we are going to visit soon, is Tokyo. I want to go there because the culture shock. I want to see panties in vending machines. I want to order a fucking hot dog from a vending machine. I want to go to weird Japanese robot clubs. I want to experience a whole different culture that is so far gone from my own that it just leaves you going, what the fuck is this place? That's why I'm really excited for Japan, more specifically Tokyo. I mean, Kyoto, the historic area, that seems really awesome as well. I'm big into history. I love learning about it, but yeah, Tokyo is way up there, man, way up there. Mortal Man asking the real questions. Have you watched VR porn? Said it a dozen times. I've watched it. Sonya's watched it. Allie's watched it. Anthony's watched it. We've had a bunch of people over to watch it. We watched it together. No, I'm just kidding. It's really underwhelming. It is. It's like you're having sex with somebody who's 30 feet tall. They don't do a good job of like really making you feel like you're in the body. I think it's a gimmick until they really sort something out. It's just not that cool. Obviously, you gotta try it for yourself, but really, it's kind of disappointing. Lewis asks, pancakes, waffles, or French toast, and what kind of syrup? I don't know if there's another type of syrup other than just regular syrup. If you're talking flavored bullshit, get that out of here. It's maple syrup or die, forever. You can add fucking strawberries on there if you want strawberries, but don't do strawberry syrup. What's wrong with you? And it's not even a question. It's waffles, All right? Only one of those three objects is capable of not only holding the syrup there until it reaches your mouth, but has special made divots to capture the syrup goodness. Okay? It's waffles. There's nothing to debate. Moving on. Johnny Omegs asks, what games would you like to be redone with a VR aspect in mind? I'm gonna be lame. Minecraft. It's the easiest building type game that everybody's familiar with. I think that would be amazing in VR. Absolutely amazing. I hate the games that are made and then they port themselves to VR because that's not a true VR experience. In that regard, there's a lot of games like that. They usually don't turn out very well. The games that are made from the ground up as VR games, those are outstanding, and there's no way to experience that other than VR. So, I mean, to answer your question, I prefer none of them, but if I had to choose Minecraft, Minecraft would be amazing. Carlos asks, have you ever felt bored doing YouTube videos and quitting that kind of lifestyle you have right now? That's an interesting question. Yeah, man, every single person will get bored doing what they're doing. No matter what it is, you will get bored. That doesn't mean that you're bored with everything. It just means you're bored with how you're doing it or the content you're producing or how you're displaying it. There's a million things you can change before you change your profession. And to answer your question quickly, no, I will never leave this lifestyle by choice. I have undoubtedly one of the best lives that anybody could hope for. I mean, I get to play video games all day and hang out with a bunch of people online. Like, what the fuck is... I do that anyways. Why would I not want to do that for a job? So, no, I have very frequently get bored with the type of videos I produce. I change it up. I used to do skits. I got tired of that, so I changed it up and I went to live stream highlights. Now we're getting towards the end of that. Maybe we're going to mix it up again. I'm doing VR content now. You always got to keep yourself moving. You're always going to get bored doing some aspect of your job. All it takes is a slight change in the way you do it, and you're back to normal. So, no. To answer your question, definitely don't want to leave this lifestyle. King of Cringe asks, who and where was your first concert? I remember this one like it was yesterday, okay? Linkin Park, Coheed and Cambria, First Mariner Arena in Baltimore. I mean, I was a huge Linkin Park fan. I still am. Man, I love the old Linkin Park. Coheed and Cambria, I only knew one song of theirs, Welcome Home, and I still remember it. Don't know a single other song that they played. But Linkin Park was actually really good live, so went and saw that with my dad in 2007, I believe. Asks, how are you liking it in Portland, and how do you think it is better or worse compared to LA? Good question, man. I love Portland a lot. I think that it's pretty much a miniature LA. I mean, it's got great food, great people, great beer. It's easy to get to the airport and back. I love everything about Portland, but the one thing that I miss about LA, actually two things. One, I miss the convenience. You could basically call up and get anything delivered to your house. Chipotle, alcohol, anything. It's not really that way in Portland. There's not nearly as many services that do that. Two, I miss the fact that LAX had about 4 million flights a day. So I could choose, any flight I wanted to go to any city I wanted. But in Portland, because it's a smaller airport, you only have one or two options. So it's a minor inconvenience, but I fly a lot. So other than that, I love it here. I mean, rain really doesn't bother me. And it's a gorgeous day outside today, so I'm fine with it. Call Me Prodigy asks, what would I be doing for a living if I didn't start YouTube? That's really hard to answer because I started YouTube when I was 15. So that was 7 years ago almost. And I really think that the question I should be able to answer is, what would I do if YouTube disappeared today or Twitch disappeared today? And fortunately enough, due to the fact that I've been in this industry for so long and I've met so many amazing people that work for so many great companies, I'm not really afraid of leaving the gaming industry. I think that there will always be, provided as long as I'm not a douchebag to anybody, there'll always be somebody out there that will be willing to hire me, Razer or even Activision. I could go as far as saying there's tons of companies out there that do amazing work that I'd love to be a part of, and I don't think that I'd ever really have too much of an issue doing that. I've networked myself well, so I'd say I would still be in the gaming industry. I have no idea what would have happened if I didn't do YouTube, but sorry to sort of answer your question. I'd stay in the gaming industry. It's Vendetta says, rate it as jerk, but whatever. Why have you been almost entirely on PC for games and whatnot? What happened to console? Two things. When I moved from LA to Portland, I packed up all my consoles. They were easy to pack up, and, you know, I put them aside because most of the games that I did play were on PC. When I got here, I just never set them up again. And the reason is because almost every game that I play, with the exception of like one, and the only one I can think of right now is FIFA, and I haven't played it in a long time. Almost every game I play is on PC exclusively or is infinitely better on PC. The Division is a great example. It's on all platforms. I have this monstrous PC with great graphics. I mean, it is outstanding looking. I would rather play a game that looks better and feels better on PC than I would on console. There are a bunch of sports games and racing games that I'll never play on PC because I don't feel like it works really well with my current setup. I like those on console, but I mean, once you get a good PC, it's hard to go back. It really is. And there's nothing wrong with console at all, but it's just be like saying like, hey, you got a Ferrari. Like, why aren't you driving your Toyota Corolla? Not that big of a gap, but you get the point, right? Of course you're going to drive the better, like the faster car, I guess. My man Scuzz Nugget says IPA, double IPA, triple IPA, Imperial IPA, Rye IPA, Citrus IPA, or whatever your favorite current beer is. Deschutes has a brewery, I hope I say that right, in Portland. They have my favorite IPA I've ever had. It's got like, it tastes a little bit like citrusy, but it's still got that hoppy kick. It's every bit as hoppy and bitter as it is sweet and delicious. So I love that beer right now. And if I'm going to answer, I like myself a normal IPA or a citrus IPA. Once you get into the triple IPA, it starts tasting like grass. Like, it's like, I don't know about this one. I still like them. It's just not my favorite. And finally, the last one. I saved this one for last. Donald Trump, thank you for the question. Asks, what do I have to do to get you to follow me back? Low-key, it's a pet peeve of mine when people ask me either what do I have to do to get you to follow me or complain that I'm not following them. Because I'm not a fucking Pokemon card, okay? It's not like collect them all, Jericho. I follow people on my Twitter that are directly... I follow people on my Twitter that I care about reading every single day. Every time I get up in the morning, every time I'm on my computer, Twitter's right there. I don't want shit in my timeline that I don't give a fuck about. I don't follow people that I have no need to follow, and you shouldn't take that personally. Even if I'm good friends with you and I don't follow you, don't take it personally. It's my business account. Like, I do all my work here. So I don't need to hear about Sandra not getting a 6-piece McNugget meal for you. Like, I don't care about that. So I'm not a Pokemon card. It kind of does piss me off whenever people are like, dude, why don't you follow me back? It's like, well, cause why don't you tweet something that's worth me following you for? That's a good start right there. I'm not a Pokemon card. I'm a human being. And you can't really buy your way into getting me to follow you or like begging your way. It's not how it works. Not saying you are Donald Trump. No offense, man. Just you asked the question. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching the Q&A. Sorry it went a little long. You guys had some good questions. I like talking about them. Yeah, if you guys have any other additional questions, I'm always available to answer questions on Twitter. We do basically English. We do basically Q&As every time I stream. So come over, hang out in the chat, and I'll learn English and talk to you guys later.